what's going on, family? Listen, we've had a lot of amazing guests on the show, and perhaps you may have never, ever listened to those episodes. So we wanted to present a new segment called SONW Classic, where we go back, we revisit those iconic conversations, and give those full episodes back to you. Sit back and enjoy this week's SONW Classic. Welcome to the show. Carter Cofield is in the building. What's going on, fam?
What's good, King? How you doing, man? Long time no see. So glad we got a chance to get connected.
I want to jump back, right? Just jump back real quick. Take me to the young Carter Cofield. Like, take me to the young man growing up. Where you from?
So I'm from the south side of Chicago, man. It was 9 of us in a 3-bedroom home, on the south side. And what's crazy about growing up broke is that you don't really know how broke you are because all your friends broke too. So it's kind of like, we don't really know. We just all having fun. And, we made the most out of the situation, man. But, coming out of that, the South Side has some mindset shifts where like you kind of don't believe that you could become better than your circumstances. So I was just blessed to have like mentors around me and people around me that actually like, you can like just get out of here. And for me, it was a journey. So I was curious about like money, how money works. And I don't know if I told you this. My mom died when I was 14 and my dad died when I was 16, right? So, I graduated high school around the recession. So I'm looking at like, what field has the lowest unemployment rate? Because I can't afford to major in something that I'm not going to be able to get employed in because I don't have a fallback plan. And CPA was the number one job with the lowest unemployment rate because I don't care what you're doing, you're going to need somebody to help you with taxes. So I dove down that road and I found out like, bro, like taxes is everyone's number one expense. Everyone. The average person pays 40% of their lifetime income in taxes. Think about that. Like most people end up making $1 million over their lifetime. You're giving away $400,000 that you worked hard for, right? So it brought me down this path of just learning like, all right, well, those wealthy people like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, who like these are wealthy people that don't pay taxes. Like, how are they accumulating all this money, but their tax bill is lower than the average person? Like Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of all time, his tax rate is lower than his secretary's.
How's that even possible?
So so a lot of things. I'll give you all the game on taxes, but one of the main things you need to know is how you make money determines how much taxes you pay. So active income, if you're making money through a business actively, you have to pay ordinary income taxes. However, if you make money passively through like long-term stocks or long-term buy and hold rental properties, you're at a different tax rate than ordinary income taxes. So it's not just about making money, it's about how you make money,
The first one I want to talk about is how to live tax-free Airbnb.
So number one, the tax code was made to benefit entrepreneurs and business owners, right? If you're an employee, you're not on the right team. And I tell people all the time, the tax code is like a game. And in order to win any game, you have to be on the right team. So the tax code was made to benefit entrepreneurs and business owners because every job that we create is a job that the government doesn't have to create. Every job that we create is one more person off welfare. So they say, because you're a business owner, you get to deduct all expenses associated with operating your business. The Airbnb play goes like this. If you own an Airbnb, and so let's say I'm in LA, right? So let's say I own an Airbnb in Chicago. Every time I fly to Chicago, I'm going to check on my property, right? So therefore, the flight I take to Chicago is tax deductible. Any Ubers I take to my property is tax deductible. And, if I have to stay somewhere else because my property is occupied, that lodging hotels is tax deductible as well. So one of the hacks that people can do is, I tell people all the time, go get an Airbnb in your favorite cities. So that then when you go to Miami, when you go to California, when you go to Atlanta, every time you go there, it's tax deductible because you have a property that you can go check on.
Well, I want to go, I want to go to whatever exotic place there is. How can we have tax-free in our hotel stays?
It's like if you're about to go to LA for somebody's birthday, y'all flying in on Saturday, leaving on Sunday, it's a quick birthday trip. I would encourage you to make that trip a business trip by simply flying in on Friday and leaving on Monday. And when you fly in on Friday and leave on Monday, all you have to do as a business owner is to find business activity on those weekdays. The moment you have a business activity in that city, that's now a 100% business trip. So now you can write off what was going to be a personal hotel is now a business hotel, right? What was going to be a personal meal is now a business meal, which was going to be a personal flight, but now they're business flights. So you're able to turn these personal trips into business trips by simply say, hey, do I know a business partner or a homie I can connect with? You go out there, y'all have dinner, you keep the receipt, you take a photo of y'all at dinner. That's all documentation, and now you made that trip tax deductible.
How do we pull the shopping spree trip off tax free?
There are a few ways that you need to do this to make sure you do it properly. I always back up my tax hacks with court cases. So there was a court case with this gentleman. He owned a suit company, and he was writing off all of his suits because every suit that he made, he would get his logo stitched on it because he was like a walking marketing piece for his company. And he went to court. IRS like, we noticed your clothing expense was really high. You can't write off clothes. And his argument was, every time I stitch my logo on my suits, it brings me more business. So this is actually an advertising cost. And after the court case, he ended up winning. So the IRS had to go alter the ruling and say, if you go shopping and get your company logo visibly stitched on the garment, then that garment is now a tax deductible expense. Every time you take the garment to the cleaners, that is a tax deductible expense as well. So now you got a 3-way tax benefit for going shopping, something you would do anyway.
This one was kind of funny for me because I think it's one of those special times. You only got one time a year to do this one. And it's the how to write off your next B-Day.
So here's how you do it, right? If you have an LLC or S corporation, right, you can have what's called an annual meeting every year. And within this annual meeting, you can invite your board of advisors, some of your business partners, whatever, and you all can strategize on how to improve the current year and improve the future year. So majority of my friends are entrepreneurs. Not only are they entrepreneurs, we do business together, whether I hire them for their services or we own businesses together. Because at this age, bro, if you could be my homie, we got to be breaking bread together. That's just what it is.
I like that.
So if you do business with any of your friends or they're on your board of advisors, right, you can invite them to this annual meeting. And your annual meeting can be anywhere you want it to be. So for my 30th birthday, my annual meeting was in beautiful Medellin, Colombia.
Oh, wow.
Right? And we rented out a penthouse. It was like a 10-bedroom, 10-bathroom penthouse. And I invited 7 or 8 of my business partners, and I actually paid for the whole Airbnb because it's my company's annual meeting, right? So every day we came together in the living room. I still got the pictures right now. We had a 2-hour mastermind session every day, right? I took notes, took meeting minutes, took documentation, took attendance, and we took photos of of each day. So now, in case of an audit, we have proof that for these 5 days, it was Cofield Advisors annual meeting. Here are the people that were in attendance. Here are the business that we do together. Here's the meeting minutes. And here are photos. So we legitimately turned my birthday into a tax deductible trip. And peep game, we only had meetings for 2 hours. We were outside the rest of the time. And here's the thing, Shawn, like I tell people all the time, if you want to pay less tax, simply change the facts, right? So I changed the facts of me going, having a birthday out the country to me having an annual meeting. And just by me shifting that narrative a bit, I was able to save. I think the whole thing cost me about $5,000 or $10,000. I was able to get a $10,000 write-off for enjoying my birthday, having a great time. And I was making money on the trip as well. So, cause I was documenting the journey. So it was a great time. And I encourage everybody to run this play. I don't get this away for free a lot. Everybody needs to run this play.
So let's talk about this. And the reason I say this one for one of the last questions I have about tax-free is because when you look at all the devices you have, what are some more tips or strategies that you can give our audience when they're trying to have tax-deductible devices?
Here's the thing, right? Like, again, it's all about creativity, right? So I had one post of how you could turn each toy that you own into a tax deduction simply by making sure you use it for some business use. So I'm going to go through a few items and we can talk about how to make them tax deductible, right?
Let's do it.
So your computer, right? If you have everybody has a computer. If you're checking emails on your computer, if you're doing work on your computer is a tax deductible expense. Same thing with your cell phone, right? The moment you start taking business calls, the moment you start, operating your business with your phone, which everybody does, your phone is now tax deductible. But we can get to some funner ones, right? Apple Watch. right? Because you can check your email and you can schedule appointments and everything on your Apple Watch, because it's such an intuitive device for business, your Apple Watch is tax deductible as well. And most people do not know that, right? Let's take it further. A drone, right? Most people like a drone is personal, like, it's just for fun. No, if you're shooting marketing content videos with your drone is now a business expense, because it's helping you with your marketing, it's helping you with your branding, it's helping you with your social media, right? So now your drone is a tax deductible expense as well. Cameras, I know you probably have dope cameras in your office. So the list goes on. Like you take a moment to think about, how can I use this device for business and not personal use? Then you can shift it from the category of personal to business. And I love what you said about the side hustle thing, because Shawn, I think, and people, I get pushback on this, but I'm still a firm believer. Everybody should at least have a side hustle. I'm not telling anybody to go quit their job. I'm saying that everybody should at least have a side hustle, because whatever your job is paying you to do from 9 to 5, somebody else will gladly pay you to do from 5 to 9, right? Yep. You were a brand manager. You did it from 9 to 5. Now people need you outside of work. So now you've been doing brand management for people outside of work. So I think people need to tap into their genius and start a side hustle, because once you start the side hustle, a lot of your personal expenses become business expenses immediately.
Facts.
Right? Cell phone, immediately, internet, immediately, home office, immediately, your car, immediately. I'm not telling anybody to go spend more money. I'm telling them that the money they're already spending can become a write-off once they start paying it through their business, but they have to first have a side hustle or business to take advantage of.
Yo, what you think? I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I want to know what you learned. So if you wouldn't mind, would you take a screenshot of you listening to the podcast on your phone right now? Upload to your Instagram stories, tag me at ShawnRAnthony_, and then let me know in that Instagram story what is one thing that you learned. I love hearing from you, my listeners, thought leaders, former or current students all around the world. Let me know, and while you're doing this, go inside the podcast app, subscribe, leave a 5-star review and a 5-star rating. Again, this helps us reach more people. And if you want to be a part of this mission, helping us change the world one person at a time, it makes a massive difference by you leaving a review. Thanks so much. I'll see you next week. And remember, dream it, believe it, go out and get it.